On March 18, 1984, Japan was shaken to its core when Katsuhisa Ezaki, the head of the candy company Glico, was kidnapped from his own home. Picture this. Ezaki was enjoying a relaxing bath when two masked men burst in, armed and demanding his cooperation. They tied up his family and whisked him away, naked and vulnerable, to a secluded warehouse. But the story doesn't end there. Just 2 days after his abduction, Ezaki managed to escape. Can you believe it? He wriggled free from his restraints and found help from railroad workers. Even in captivity, he was resourceful, using the very clothes his captors had given him to blend in. But the kidnappers were furious. They quickly escalated their campaign, threatening to lace Glico's candy with cyanide if their demands weren't met. And just to add to the chaos, they even set fire to cars at Glico's headquarters as a show of force. The police were scrambling, and the public was terrified. Imagine the fear of biting into your favorite candy and discovering it was poisoned. In the face of such threats, Glico had no choice but to pull their products from shelves, resulting in a loss of over $21 million and hundreds of layoffs. But who were these monsters? They called themselves the Monster with 21 Faces, a name inspired by a fictional character from Japanese literature. They began sending taunting letters to the police, mocking their inability to catch them. One letter read, "Dear dumb police officers, if you are real pros, try catching us." Can you imagine the audacity? They played cat and mouse with law enforcement, leaving behind clues that led nowhere. It was almost like a game to them, and they were winning. As the days turned into weeks, the monster targeted another candy company, Morinaga, launching a similar extortion scheme. They sent letters warning that they had poisoned products with deadly sodium cyanide. Luckily, no one was harmed, but the panic it created was palpable. The authorities were at their wits' end, and public outrage grew. Then, in a shocking turn of events, the monster announced they would stop targeting Glico and shift their focus to Morinaga. But why? Was there a secret agreement behind the scenes, or did they simply want to prove they could wreak havoc wherever they pleased? As police investigated, they caught glimpses of the so-called Fox-Eyed Man and Videotape Man, two suspects believed to be connected to the monster. But every lead fizzled out. Investigators were left scratching their heads, and the media was relentless in its coverage. In August 1985, the pressure took its toll when the police superintendent responsible for the investigation, Shoji Yamamoto, tragically took his own life in an act of despair over the case's unresolved status. Just days later, the monster sent a final letter showing no remorse for the chaos they had caused. They said, "We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It's fun to lead a bad man's life." And with that, they vanished. The mystery of the monster with 21 faces remains unsolved to this day. Over the years, thousands of police leads and tips were generated, yet no one was ever charged. The statute of limitations eventually expired, marking the end of a case that left a lasting imprint on Japan's psyche. So, who were these criminals? Were they simply motivated by chaos, or was there a deeper motive at play? As the years go by, the legend of the monster with 21 faces lives on, a chilling reminder of how fear can grip a society, even when the true identity of the monster remains hidden in the shadows.